Thanks for saying, Chin. Well, still basking the euphoria of Nigeria at 65. The country has endured military coups, civil war, transitions of power, and countless reforms. Yet questions remain. How much independence do the Niger Delta communities truly feel when it comes to development, resource control, and governance? Our focus today is Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary, and we'll be exploring what this milestone means for the Niger Delta region, past, present, and future. Director, Center for Human Rights and Accountability Network, Otuekong Franklyn Isong, joins us live on the program. Thank you for joining us, Otuekong.
Yeah, it's a terrific Wednesday.
Indeed, and a terrific 65 years. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Well, Nigeria is 65 today, and when you look at the journey, there's been a lot to talk about, and some people are of the opinion, reactions are already coming in on all social media platforms and on the TV stations across the nation regarding whether we are moving fast enough at 65 or the journey has been slow. And of course, also brainstorming on the steps that can be taken towards ensuring that the dream of Nigeria, taking its pride of place as the giant of Africa can be actualized. Let's just look at 65 years.
Well, first of all, I want to say happy anniversary to Nigerians and happy 65 independence to all Nigerians. I said this morning on a post that I am a proud Nigerian. We've seen a lot. Yes, pre-colonial era, we have a lot. We went through a lot, and then post-colonial era is the one we are talking about now. I am happy that we are a nation of our own. We have our own territory now. We are in charge. Nigerians are the one governing us, not that we have people from maybe the British still governing us, deciding, how we should be governed and what we should do. Now we are the ones governing ourselves. And good thing from 1999 till date, we have had a steady democratic administration. Before then, we used to have the military, governance that, they dictate how, we are governed. But right now, we are the ones that can now go out there and vote. Yeah, to answer your question straight away, we have gained a lot. Gained a lot in the sense that, like I have said, we are the ones that are now governing ourselves, control our own territory, we have our own independence, and then, of course, though we have some shortcomings, but then we are happy that we are the ones that dictate the pace in terms of our own economy and who governs us and how the president should be governed and how we should be governed. So that's the point. But I have taken time beyond this to list out maybe 9 items that I would have loved to, x-ray. And this is to look at how we have evolved from 1960 till 2025. And I have taken time to look at the issue of security, look at the issue of health, look at the issue of education, economy, rule of law, infrastructure, that is power sector, the water system, and the rest. And then we look at the accountability, the tiers of government. Now we have the federal, the state, and the local government, and then we also have our identity. If time permits, I would have taken time to critique these, various sectors to actually, locate to Nigerians where we are in my own perspective.
We'll look at it as much as we can, as much as time permits. But then, Otuekong, you made mention of the fact that we have come a long way and have also gained a lot. But then you still didn't answer that question. Is the pace slow, or we are fast,
yes,
or we are simply running maybe
in between?
Yeah, you can look at the pace based on these areas I have been able to, to atomize. Take, for instance, security. The major function of a government, why we have a government in place, is to give us security. How has the government fared in the area of security? We will say that the government has been able to perform, effectively and give us security. Yes, to an extent, you will say, but currently, if you ask any person in Abuja, which is the nation capital, of course, you saw what happened to your colleague that, that lost her life. So the security is, we are really in a trying state. The country is slow in actually, granting or giving Nigerians the security that Nigerians deserve, knowing that the basic aim of government is to guarantee the security of lives.
So what do you suggest?
Yeah, my suggestion would be, I have been an advocate of state police. This, for me, would also help in showing up the lapses, the ungoverned spaces that we have in the area of security. For instance, if you have someone from your community being policing you, he knows you, you know him, and when there is any crime, you can simply walk up to him and speak your language. The aged woman, the elderly in the community who cannot communicate with English can walk up to the police officer that is in his community, who is from there, and tell him. And he also knows the route, in the community, and he knows the bad boys. And this will also help in taming the insecurity. Then the issue of health also has been a major challenge in the country. If you pick the issue, let's look at Akwa Ibom State and others. You can see what happened in the health sector, where maternal mortality has become in the increase, where you see women will give birth and die in the course of child delivery, and this has become a major challenge in the country. And then what is happening to our health sector is also a major question that the government needed to answer. So the question is that, has there been an improvement? Why should our government officials be traveling abroad for medical checkup, for medical tourism, when we can actually develop the same? Look at the hospital in Aso Rock Villa. Can our president be treated there? The former president's wife, Aisha Buhari, raised alarm that the facility there was not enough to take care of the patient. So we need to look at the health sector. Then you look at the issue of education. How far have we fed? Yes, you will say the government is trying its best, of course, but we need to do more. You still have communities that have no primary school, and then you could have 5 communities sharing one primary school block that is decayed, that you see the people studying under the trees. So these are the challenges. Then you look at the issue of economy. I give it to Mr. President, the current president. Now he's doing well. I don't want to, I'm not, surrounding my analysis on his government, because he has only spent 2 years of 65th anniversary of our nationhood. And so I could excuse him. I'm not heaping all these blames on him. But I would have thought that we will have a fiscal policy that will help, that will even begin to show us the way forward.
But the president, in his speech this morning, actually said that the worst is over for the country, and that economic reforms are beginning to deliver tangible result. Would you say that the reform so far is leading us somewhere there is light at the end of the tunnel?
Like I said, I wouldn't want to narrow my critique of our 65th anniversary, the failures and the achievement on him. But I will give it to him. He has been very pragmatic, very bold. He took bold decisions, like the issue of the fuel subsidy, which he removed, and has pumped in more monies to the state and local government today. But the question will be, what are these funds being used for at the level of state and local government? Now you have been able to make policies that have, pumped in more monies to the pocket of the federal government, state and local governments. But these funds are being, misapplied at the level of state and local government levels. So that is why I said I don't want to put these blames on him, but give it to him. He has made some bold steps in the area of economy that has helped to shore up the economy. He said that what he met on ground was worse than what he has been able to achieve so far in 2 years. I give it to him, because I know when he came on board, we had petrol was almost you have queue here and there, and then you have people that are importing the petrol, and you have this issue of subsidy that has become a monster that has eaten into the petrol industry. But today he has been able to disbundle that sector, and you can now say there is more money, and you can now know who is handling what, who is importing what. But the truth is that how much have we gained from the subsidy that has been removed? The issue of that is also the issue of accountability. Have you been able to account where are the funds that have been mopped up from the issue of subsidy? What are the funds? How much have we been able to gain in 2 years? And what are these funds being used for? Well, so that brought up the issue of how transparent is Mr. President and his policies.
Well, Otuekong, we'll still stay on the issue of the economy, which would serve as a fulcrum to all of the other areas that you've mentioned, talk about health, education. I mean, it all starts there at the economy level. Now, you've spoken beautifully about what you feel the president has been able to do in the past 2 years, although not hinging the experience of Nigeria at 65 on him. But then he's the one with the baton right now. And we're looking at futuristic plans also regarding where Nigeria goes from here. Now, when you look at the policies of the president currently, and you mirror that side by side with what you hope the country can achieve moving forward now, do you think that the country is on the path to the kind of growth that we're hoping to achieve? Bearing in mind that you see situations where new administrations come in, and it is as if policies that were put in place by previous administrations are simply done away with, and you see new policies coming in, completely leaving aside or putting aside whatever was already put in place. Now, with all of these reforms that Mr. President has put in place, do you think that if sustained, the momentum can be maintained and Nigeria can be able to truly achieve the kind of development it hopes to achieve?
Well, I will give it to him that, like I said before, that he has given us sound economic policy and then has been able to remove fuel subsidy. Yes, if it is sustained, we want to have more funds in the economy, and then, of course, prices of food items have dropped. Rice used to be, I think, 100 and more, or 85 and so, but now it has dropped to 50 and the rest. And this is, for me, the welcome development. If sustained, it will actually, boost our economy. But beyond this, we need to also, make sure that we have policies that are consistent. He's not going to be there. Yeah, the maximum, tenure he will stay. The max, if he has a second term, will be 8 years. And if you put 8 years into 65, assuming minus 65 minus 8 years, you see that it is just a drop of water in the mighty ocean. So after him, like we have said, those who come after him, will they build on him, assuming his party doesn't win because he is implementing his party policy. And Nigeria, we are operating a political party democracy where every party comes with its own ideology to, on what they want to implement. So if party B comes on board, will they sustain the policy of party Z? That is the question. So we are having issues of policy consistency. He has removed the fuel subsidy, he has devolved Naira, he has done all those things. But the truth is that, yes, these are working in his own time. But beyond this, he should also be able to check, transparency in all the areas that these policies are being implemented. The tax reform bill that law now, the petroleum industrial law, and the rest. We need to also see how they are functioning, how those who are enforcing it, how those who are working on it are transparent and accountable. Otherwise, at the end of the day, he will end up having lofty ideas, good dreams for Nigeria, and nothing will be achieved.
All right, Otuekong, there's a saying that the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. What are those challenges that the youths of the present day youths are battling, and do you think the youths of today are ready to be leaders of tomorrow?
This question, I have answered this question over time. From my primary school days, I was told that youth are the future leaders of tomorrow. When will this tomorrow even come? When you have people who are 100 years aspiring to become president, governors, chairman of local government, you have youth leader today, go and check his age. He should be between 60 and above. So when will this tomorrow come for me, come for the youth? Check the political party youth leaders, check the minister of youth, check commissioner of youth in states. You'll see that they are above the UN benchmark of who is a youth. 25 years. Go and check. So you can see. So when will this? So the challenge. So that is the point. So the challenge that the youth are having is the challenge of leadership in the country. When will this youth be part of it? When it is time for elections, they will use the youth as talks. After elections, they will forget the youth, and then the caucus will become the elders, the elder statesmen, the political godfathers and godmothers, and the youth are not, reckoned with. And the youth, the highest thing the youth will get is PA to PA to PA. And so where becomes then the fate of the youth? And where will this tomorrow come? Where will you have a youth that will become a governor at the age of 25? So this is what the challenge that the youth are facing in Nigeria.
Well, I was thinking that the Not Too Young to Run video was supposed to address this particular issue. Hasn't it addressed it?
You see, for political exigency, it has not addressed the issue. But you can say the government is youth-friendly, they have given us the Not Too Young to Run bill, the law is now in place. The question I've asked is, how many youths have succeeded to use that particular policy to become whatever? Don't forget that before you emerge, you must have a godfather. You must, in some clan, you go and take oath of loyalty. And if you deviate from being loyal, you will be removed. So you can look at it that even when, as a youth, there is a law that gives you that leverage to aspire to occupy elective office. You still need funding, because Nigerian politics has become so monetized that everybody that wants to become a councillor must have had over 300 over 300 or 500,000. So how many youth would have had that? Except those who are politically exposed can be able to have 500,000 to contest as a councillor at a world level. Then talk of state. Then to talk of to become governor. To become governor, you must have had like 10 billion. That is the truth, because you must be able to procure the security agencies. You must work with you must be able to procure those who are the umpires. You must procure the godfathers. You must service some structures, and then you must service the party agent, and all of this.
How do you think it is?
And all of this would come from that person who wants to be a governor.
So where do we now hitch the future of Nigeria? Because the youth
that
are
is why
supposed
you
to
see, when you have someone becomes governor, you first of all recoup his investment, his expenses,
and
before he now thinks of how to save the state. So you now have issues of poor governance because of the leadership process that we have had in this country. So that is where we are having challenge of youth getting involved. How many youth will have 1 billion naira to contest to become a chairman of a LGA? I say 1 billion because I recall in those years it used to be just option A4. You want the community will vote who you know. So if I want to be a chairman, for instance, of my LGA, I just go pick the form. The electoral umpire will publish our names, and then I will just go and stand at my polling unit. The voters will come and queue behind me. The issue of begin to lobby this, lobby that is not there, because if you come, if I lobby you and you agree to support me, and on the day of the voting, I will know who is voting for me because it's option A4. But today, everything has been moguled into this IRF, BIVA that is even being used to regulation in some cases.
You think that the expensive nature of elections in Nigeria is a calculated attempt?
It is for the elite.
Stifle.
That is it. To stifle at merit, competence, and capacity. It is just meant to bring out people who have the money bags. It is like a business, umpire, where those who have the big monies will come in, hijack the entire thing, and that is it. I recall a particular state, a particular year or era where a particular senator will just tell the INEC, declare me the winner, let them go to court. And he goes to court, he buys his way. And he's been there, it became like his permanent office. He keeps on repeating because he has this way out. And you know those who will tell INEC, they will just read out and tell INEC, declare all the persons as winner of council chairman. Let them go to court, those who are aggrieved. And of course, you know what it means, go to court. What that means in Nigerian politics.
Well, Otuekong, we're already at 65, and already people are already projecting what 100 years would look like living in Nigeria. I mean, it would not be a beautiful day to wake up 100 years after the creation or the independence of Nigeria, and you're still grappling with, pedestrian issues that it shouldn't be the problem. We should be talking about developments. So from now here on, what do you hope to achieve as a country? What do you think that Nigeria can achieve as a country moving on? And those specific steps that can be taken towards crystallizing the hopes that Nigeria has.
The first thing is for the government to be, our leaders now, to ensure that the rule of law applies. Everyone is equal before the law. The second thing, if we must get it right, is to address the issue of anti-open grazing the laws that prohibit open grazing should now be completely implemented. It should become a law that is signed by the federal government, not just in state level. So it can now be enforced at state levels, because you have clashes between farmers and herders that have led to several persons being displaced. You have the Boko Haram, you have the ISWAP, you have the banditry, you have the kidnapping, you have the crime rate has become so heightened, so high, and so there are things that government can actually do that will promote development, and such things are tackling the issue of security, and one of it is state police. Second of it is addressing the issue of anti-open grazing, prohibit grazing or open grazing completely in the country, and then let all the cattle be kept in their ranches. And then the third one is corruption, which has become endemic in our system. The funds that we are getting, how has it been used? By the time somebody is being, jailed, I read a report where a particular president, was convicted for corruption, and then I saw a report again where a particular state governor in the southeast has been sentenced to death for corruption. And if this is, a recurring incident, it will also send fears. And then the issue of our health sectors. Of course, government should now begin to visit the cottage hospitals, general hospitals in the primary in the communities, and then let us begin to have good, and affordable health facilities. It will also help us.
We'll let you go, but in 30 seconds, what should independence mean for the Niger Delta region? Just in 30 seconds.
Independence for us means a lot, because we've lost so many persons who fought for the return for democracy. We've lost the likes of Isaac Adakaboro. We've lost the likes of Kesare Wewa, who was in the struggle for the Ogoni people. And then we've lost Major General Philip Effiong and the rest of it. Of course, you know of Margaret Ekpo from Cross River State. We've lost so many. So for us that are still in the struggle, independence, 65th independence of Nigeria means a lot, and we believe that our struggle and the struggle of our past heroes won't just go in vain.
The honors that the president has been giving out recently, we heard of the honors that he has been giving out. You think that is a good step?
Well, to recognize those who have fought for this country is a good step, but then beyond that, you should also put infrastructures in place and name them after these persons.
All right.
Not just giving them national honor post-mortem, and that is it.
Thank you very much, Otuekong Franklyn Isong, for speaking to us. And once again, Happy Independence Day.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you for your time, Otuekong.
Happy Independence.